Welcome, friends,
to the How-To Heretic.
I'm Uncle Mark.
I'm Uncle Dan.
I'm Uncle Doug.
And this is your user's guide to life on the outside.
That's right. Leaving religion is your first step into a larger, better world.
But it can also be a scary world. Things work differently now.
Never fear, that's why we're here.
We're your audio uncles. And with help from good friends and experts in all sorts of fields,
we're going to share the stories and seek the knowledge to build a great life.
After all, you only get one that we know of, so you'd better make the most of it.
Cha-cha-cha.
well, gentlefolk,
Hello.
Howdy do.
uncles from across space and time,
Avuncular friends.
yes,
Or across the room.
the super uncles.
I actually uncled, like real uncling yesterday. I took my nephew snowboarding. How about that?
How about that?
How avuncular is that? I'm a literal uncle.
And is he an atheist now?
We're working on it.
You failed. Well, today we've got a hell of a show. I'm going to give people a perfectly stupid reason to get killed.
True,
Yeah.
absolutely, very good. I'm going to heal us all once you get killed.
And
Okay.
I'm bringing the game.
Yeah,
You are.
we're going to have the game report, the fishing game report at the end of the show. So you're going to want to tune in for that because the trout are running. So let's do a show.
Hey, Doug,
Here am I.
do you like doodling? Are you an artist?
I like doodling that could get me in really fucking big trouble.
Well,
is
why
what I
wouldn't
like.
you?
Yeah.
I remember I when I was a kid, I would doodle a lot, and I think I did get in trouble for it sometimes.
Did you draw boobs?
Probably,
Probably a penis.
probably a penus.
A penis on your desk and your teacher caught.
You never know. I had the ADHD. It's not like I was paying attention to what I was drawing. I was just drawing.
Just
Whatever
possessed.
came out.
A lot of dicks.
So,
Well, you work in the medium you have.
indeed. But I think, Uncle Mark, you're going to teach us all about ways that we, as grown folk,
May draw yourself to death.
can draw. I love it.
Yes, indeed. And
Hurrah!
So, and not to put too fine a point on it, but I think it's important for us to keep in the back of our minds somewhere that the notion that what we do here, fellas, which is critiquing, examining, and even lampooning stuff that other people find sacred, can have some downsides.
What?
Yeah, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. So, beyond the pissy tweets and the one-star reviews on iTunes and the occasional huffy emails, lurks an even crazier threat. Threats that even include murder in the name of a loving and just God.
Not to us yet.
No, we have not. We've yet to receive one.
Yet.
Not that we're asking for that. Maybe we'll ask for it. It's a Patreon goal.
Patreon goal, death threats.
Send your death threats to the How-To Heretic.
Yes.
Just send your death threat. Write your death threats on several $100 bills
Yes.
and
And
send them to.
just be aware that if you do threaten us with death, we will report you to the Space Force. So, today we're talking about a sacred cow. That is kind of for a thing that's not real. It is a for real sacred cow, emphasis on sacred, and that is images of the Prophet Muhammad. What are
upon
they?
him.
Why are they? And how and when can you get in on this exciting new thing?
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.
Je suis Charlie.
Okay, so listen up, heretics. This announcement is for the listening audience only, not for my fellow uncles.
Okay.
I'm
closing my ears.
Yes, I've installed a flashing light in the studio that I switch on when I'm telling a risky joke. That way, hopefully Uncle Dan won't get killed because of my dangerous but celebrated topical humor, okay? So when you see the light, you know not to murder him, okay? So light flashing means joke, right? Okay, back to the show. And speaking of images of Muhammad, Dan is just finishing a real humdinger of a portrait for his growing collection. What a masterpiece, Dan.
Thank you.
I can't tell where the
Do you like the dick?
I can't tell where the donkey ends and Muhammad begins.
I think using real pubic hairs for the beard is a daring move.
You really should work in the arts.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm hydrating before the murder starts.
That's a good idea.
I almost choked. But seriously, anyone who's watched the news in the last couple decades knows that anybody, especially non-Muslim Westerners, that make so much as a doodle and claim it's a likeness of the Prophet Muhammad can find themselves sans head, or at least suddenly possessing several more holes than they were born with on a random Parisian afternoon. Now,
Yeah. I like my current number of holes.
Yeah,
That's true.
You've got a good number.
Thank you.
It's an unusual number.
17, but, it's fine.
17 and counting. So before I dive into the evolution of this rather severe reaction some amateur art critics have to the doodlings of others, let us preface this descent into homicidal religiosity by saying, nobody knows what the fuck Muhammad looked like. Therefore, no one can actually make an accurate portrait of him. And even if they happen to by the 100 Monkeys typing canard, nobody would ever know that they got it right. So let us embrace the underlying absurdity.
Screams Mark right before the hot lead flies.
You don't know what he looked like.
My question is, how do those monkeys know?
Right.
What are they not telling us?
And they're doing it on a typewriter, so it's that thing you learned in
XO, space.
in middle school typing class where you had to type a reindeer space, XO, space. So let us embrace the underlying absurdity of this whole high-capacity magazine kerfuffle with that knowledge. Well, there is one pretty hilarious attempt at a physical description of the prophet made by someone who knew him at the time he was alive, and verbal descriptions are permitted, guys. So all of our jihadi listeners, just cool your jets, okay? And here it is, the description of the Prophet Muhammad, the description.
Okay.
And I quote, "The apostle of Allah, may Allah bless him, is neither too short nor too tall. His hair are neither curly nor straight, but a mixture of the two.
Oh, okay.
He is a man of black hair and large skull. His complexion has a tinge of redness.
Okay.
His shoulder bones are broad, and his palms and feet are fleshy. He has long al-masruba, which means hair growing from neck to navel. He is long of eyelashes, close eyebrows, smooth and shining forehead, and long space between two shoulders. Ooh. When he walks inclining, as if coming down from a great height. I never saw a man like him before him or after him."
Swipe right.
End quote. Exactly.
There,
So-
I just drew this. You guys can see.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that good? Did I do it?
Oh,
How'd
yeah.
I do?
That's
Did I do a good job?
pretty good.
Is he long of eyelashes? And
He's long of eyelashes. I couldn't really get the eyelashes in.
he does look like he's coming down from a great height.
I'm just trying to figure out what a fleshy palm would look like compared to mine. What am I missing?
You're pretty fleshy.
Fleshier, I guess.
You got flesh on that palm.
yeah.
And hair. Why is there hair on your palm? That's weird. Anyway, go on.
So, what is it about depicting an image of an actual historical figure that gets some people so stabby? After all, Muhammad said of himself that he was just a man, just a messenger, and no one special. No doubt at the time he was having his wacky portrait drawn by one of those caricature artists at the county fair. So the Quran itself says nothing about it at all.
Really?
Idolatry is forbidden.
Okay.
But there are a couple of the hadith that forbid any creation of a human or animal figure.
Oh, that's right.
What are the hadith? They are comically non-credible things that it is believed the prophet said or did or meant to say. They were correlated out of thousands of oral anecdotes, scraps of paper, etc., long after his death, ascension to heaven on Barak, his magical winged horse.
Right. I want to know how many of them are just things he meant to say.
Right.
I meant, let me tell you what I meant to say.
He was going to say this.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure what he meant by that was,
What
you
he
need
was-
to die, motherfucker.
The way that what he meant to say was,
It's hard to write with such fleshy palms.
it's tough.
So the hadith is kind of like the Quran light, but it's still taken seriously by Muslims, and the particular prohibitions against images of people or animals is taken very seriously, mostly by Sunni Muslims, who, it happens, are the vast majority of the Islamic world. So,
Which is funny because, they don't object when non-Muslims make images of other people, any of the other people.
no,
The prohibition is against the creation of the images.
like literally the guy, the fuckbags in ISIS that make videos,
Yeah.
according to their own imams, video images of human beings are haram. They're forbidden.
Yeah.
So you fucked it up, guys.
So they're making videos. and then,
That sick
Imam.
burn on ISIS.
Leave me alone, Imam.
So that prohibition from the amazing hadith may sound familiar to Christian ears, and indeed it should. It can be found in a very particular set of rules,
Yeah.
which are, for a second time in the Bible, in Deuteronomy. The second Jewish commandment states, and I quote, "You shall not make yourself an idol, whether in the form of anything that is in heaven above, or that is on the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth." We talked about this on some episode, but "you shall not bow down to them or worship them, semicolon, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God,"
Meh.
indicating other gods, "punishing children for the iniquity of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who reject me, but showing steadfast love to the 1,000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments, unless your name is Job and the devil tricks me, Almighty God, into a wager." He did not continue.
Right.
So, even though this is clearly spelled out in the only list of rules that matter to American Christians, in fact, they matter so much that, that we must have them in every courthouse and school and park in the land, they oddly fail utterly to obey that commandment.
Right.
As they do most of the others. But rules are for the sinners in America, never for the righteous, as our great Christian president proves in spades. So,
Yeah.
but what that unloved commandment demonstrates about Judaism and Christianity is the same foundational impulse the Hadith demonstrate about Islam, which is that they are all originally aniconist religions, meaning they all forbade the artistic depiction of God's creation. Aniconism is the idea that creating such depictions is an arrogant challenge to God's divinity, and is also a reaction to the idolatry of the polytheism that pervaded the area at the time.
You know who the least Christian or the least godly human ever was?
Tell me.
Norman Rockwell.
Yes.
Always making images of people.
He was the devil.
Like a
Or any various Instagram influencer.
right. Well, yes, those are actually really.
Yeah,
So anyway,
they truly are.
Judaism mostly gave up that restriction, and Christianity not only discarded the commandment, still very much on the book they carry around but never read, they fully embraced figurative art as a way to propagandize their aggressively missionary faith and to educate and intimidate the masses of illiterate tithe payers.
Yeah.
Every single cathedral you've ever been to is made out of paintings and statues, right? So am I saying Muslims are better at religion than Christians? Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah, in the same way that any fundamentalist is living their religion more truly than the moderately religious person, right?
They take it to the logical conclusion, which if you believe in the magic of, if you believe in what you pretend to believe in, you have to do.
Yeah. I mean,
You have to go all the way.
these ideas are kind of all or nothing. And
Right.
The fact that people have kind of found a 50-50.
Either God said it or he didn't. Either you're supposed to believe it or you aren't. And
Preaching right now? What's going on? This podcast is
Jesus
taking
Christ.
well, no, I think the point is that the people who actually do their religion the best prove how shitty their religion is.
a turn. Or at the very least, not as big a hypocrite as the rest of them.
Right. They're living the word, man. I mean, I don't think living religiously is a good thing.
Right.
But if you do, chances are Muslims are doing it better than you are.
Right.
So, enough of Mark's Sermon on the Mount. So, where Christianity pressed the greatest artists of the ages into the service of the Pope, small note, I didn't know this, even though I had a lot of art history, after the radically iconoclastic fevers of the 8th and 9th century in Christendom, there was a bit of a fever to fully follow commandment number 2 for a hot minute.
Oh, for real?
Like a lot of icons and things were destroyed.
Oh, wow.
But they got over that. Islam never embraced the figurative arts in support of the faith. It did fully embrace the finest artists and architects in its orbit to build their mosques and shrines because of beautiful geometry and ceramic work and everything. So very lovely indeed.
Well,
but
and
no
they also managed to start using their language, like their written language, became their visual art.
Right.
Like it was all they could do.
Yeah.
But they'd make it so gorgeous and scrolly and pretty and whatever.
So you can do that. You can show the name of Muhammad, the name, the word,
Right.
and they do these beautiful, huge calligraphic, kind of depictions of the word Muhammad that are quite pretty. But no broad shoulders, no long eyelashes, no shining forehead and big skull.
No hair from chin to balls.
navel. So very early Muslim sources, mostly in Persia, did have books with illustrations of a man called Muhammad in them. And a few of those survived, but untold numbers were destroyed over time in spasms of Islamic orthodoxy. Some that do survive have his face scratched off or painted over with a white blankness, or his whole body completely covered in a white veil, like a shy Canadian bride. And as I mentioned a little earlier, the Sunnis absolutely forbid any portrayal of Muhammad, where the Shia, oddly enough, are a little less uptight about it. So there's this odd colorized photograph that's readily available in Iran and wherever else you find Shia, your local Shia. And it's come to be associated with a youthful Muhammad, but it's really a photo of a teenage Tunisian boy taken by an English photographer in 1905.
Oh.
Here, I'll show you. You got to see this because it kind of cracks me up.
Aw.
What?
Yeah.
He's cute.
He's a rather feminine Muhammad.
Yes, yeah. Could easily be mistaken for a Mohammedina.
A pretty Tunisian girl. And look, if Muhammad's got a feminine side, I'm here for it. I'm like,
absolutely.
I think Islam should explore that a little bit more.
And when he grows into his eyelashes, he'll be a handsome.
With that hair from.
Can you imagine that kid doing drag? Like Muhammad would have been gorgeous in drag.
Oh my God, yeah. But the amount of tweezing and waxing would be outrageous.
So, nobody in the Shia world believes, obviously, that's Muhammad, but it's kind of a totem that's acceptable to say, okay, this is an image of young Muhammad. So they're very common in people's houses.
How
and
very
places
weird.
of work. So
that's, I guess that's not that much stranger than, all of these Americans with some picture of a Danish
Totally.
bearded guy.
A blue-eyed blonde
right,
Jesus.
But since Christians have fully discarded that second commandment,
Right.
there's no prohibition against any kind of depiction of
Yeah,
Jesus.
right.
So the Muslim prohibition against the graven image has been taken far more seriously than the other aniconistic faiths. We know that nobody blew up Michelangelo or Raphael, and the Muslim prohibition is no more specific than the Old Testament one, in that Muhammad himself is not named among the vague description of human and animal figures.
That's so. See, this is my point. Why aren't they blowing up people for painting pictures of anybody else?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the Taliban did that, right? The Taliban blew up those images of
Banyan
Buddha.
Buddhas. Yeah.
Yeah.
A real crime.
Yeah.
And ISIS is actually doing that now in some of these ancient cities in Syria, where there was there remains some pagan temples and Christian temples that they have destroyed.
Yeah, but I just assume that that's because they don't like the competition.
And they sell it.
Do they?
Yeah, they take the art and
okay.
sell it on the black market. So
yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, until they're blowing up pictures of Kylie Jenner or whatever, they're not living the creed.
Kylie Jenner. So for whatever reason, what started as a general rule against living figures then evolved into a prohibition against images of the prophet, has in recent years really weaponized into one of the defining characteristics of Islam in Western eyes.
Yeah.
I think this has mostly to do with continued Western imperialism in the Muslim world and the limits of human tolerance for indignity and persecution. I mean, it's bad enough that plutocratic Western countries bomb their countries into rubble for the crime of wanting to control their own natural resources. But then some Christian assholes want to make a cartoon of their sacred prophet or desecrate the Quran. I kind of get the anger. It's still not right, but it's hard not to see the angry logic of it.
No, I get the anger. It's still not okay to blow people up.
No, it's generally even their own religion does forbid that at some point. So how much can a person be expected to take, especially when they have a belligerent nihilistic religion fanning their rage?
Right.
So the really high-profile incidents of violence surrounding images of Muhammad are pretty recent. There have been non-mocking Western images of Muhammad that have stirred controversy, most famously in the U.S. Supreme Court chambers built in the 30s. An artist wanted to bring some gravitas to the proceedings by creating a sculpted frieze above the judges of great lawgivers from history. So there, among Confucius and Solomon and Hammurabi and Moses, is Muhammad.
You know where there's one of those right here in our own town?
Yes, and it was a little bit of a controversy at the University of Utah.
A huge controversy at our own alma mater.
Yeah,
up there.
I actually drove up there because I was reading about it. I drove up there yesterday to look at it, but the building was locked. So
it's still there, and he's still there.
But they painted over the name.
The name's not there.
So there's all these homos from the Enlightenment and the Renaissance.
There's like Moses, and there's Shakespeare, and there's Darwin, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's
brown guy with turban.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because you can say his name, but you can't have his face up there.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
With a better-
you could. They
Right.
could. What's funny is that they chose
Yeah.
to get rid of the name, but they
Right.
could have just gotten rid of the body and left the name.
That would have been pretty funny. Just Muhammad and blank.
I'm quite delighted that they didn't succumb to that pressure. But it is funny. You can write the word. That's no problem. the
Right.
name. But that's what they covered.
Yeah.
But it was a historical. It's a historical thing. They legally couldn't paint over it. So
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Oh, how
anyway,
funny.
as far as the one in the Supreme Court, and again, it's not mocking. It kind of honors him.
That's the point of it.
Right. So several polite attempts by the embassies of Muslim governments have been made to have it removed, so far to no avail, although there's renewed hope Brett Kavanaugh might steal it as part of a fraternity initiation. Let's pin all our hopes on that guy. But well-meaning depictions aside,
Somebody's issue that dare.
Yeah.
Somebody in D.C.
he likes beer. He still likes beer.
I like beer.
So mocking and critical depictions have been around for quite a while. In the 29th canto of the 14th century epic poem Dante's Inferno, which we'll cover in depth another time, Muhammad wanders one of the lower circles of hell, his naked body split from chin to groin,
Yeah.
with his guts hanging all out,
And all that fur.
and all that fur, as gruesomely depicted in Gustave Doré's amazing engravings for the book. You can see him pulling his chest open and everything's just hanging out. Several depictions of Muhammad burning in various hells exist in cathedrals and other artistic works of the time. But it is the modern age where we most often find the cartoon meets the kaboom. So, thank you. Starting in the early 2000s, in a world out of whack following the attacks of September 11th and the wargasm of violence that followed, cartoonists, especially in Western Europe, began depicting Muhammad in editorial cartoons as either a comically absurd primitive idiot or a conniving nihilistic terrorist. Mass protests and threats of violence and murder followed. So here are two examples of how bad things had gotten. First, French satirical newspaper Charlie Hebdo. They had a history of brutally lampooning everybody.
Yeah.
They had targeted
They're the
Muhammad
Mad
before.
Magazine of there.
They're a very political, hyper-political Mad magazine,
Yeah.
and they exist to take everybody down a peg.
Right.
So they had targeted Muhammad before, but in 2012 they did a series of cartoons, many of them featuring the Prophet naked. Their office got firebombed, but no one was hurt. And then in 2013 they announced they would make a rude comic book of the life of the Prophet. Al-Qaeda's Yemeni branch issued a kill list, and in February 2015, Muslims attacked their offices and killed 12 people. Remember when you were a kid and your mom said cartoons were bad for you? You have been warned. And then there's a ton of incidents, but another one that bears talking about is in 2012, a blue ribbon crazy person named Nakula Basley Nakula made a partial piece of utter shit on YouTube called The Innocence of Muslims.
Yeah.
So it's a green screen comment section rant about the savage bloodthirstiness and pedophilia of the Prophet and his followers. This unwatchable dreck
Unwatchable.
was
give it a
indeed
shot.
watched by a huge swath of the Muslim world, which erupted in violent protests that killed 30 people. This violent reaction is also considered at least partly to blame for the violence that engulfed the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, killing 4 U.S. personnel and giving Republicans who had just voted to slash security funding for our embassies hope they could take out one sitting and one future president in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
They were 1 for 2. So there are plenty more examples of mostly equally bonkers Christianists trying to antagonize Muslims by burning Qurans or drawing their precious prophet and feverishly antagonizing their Muslim mirror images. But the original cartoonists were secular, liberal people critiquing the absurdity of a religion feeling like their superstitious taboos should extend into the lives of non-believers everywhere.
Right. Like, yeah, I have these feelings, and therefore you are not allowed to draw something.
Right, and I will kill you
Yeah. Under
for what I
penalty of
believe in.
death.
Yeah.
Right.
So as a result of a South Park episode lampooning the idea that nobody can depict Muhammad and the utterly predictable threats of violence that followed, a Seattle-based cartoonist named Molly Norris proposed the idea of Everybody Draw Muhammad Day. And this was both to dilute the murder pool and to take a stand for the First Amendment. And still, on May 20th every year, people doodle the Prophet for the lulz. And well, I don't want anyone to get murdered for drawing a person of unknown appearance who's been dead for 1,300 years. I'm afraid I must reject the idea that I am required to live by the dictates of Islam.
Right.
I reject the idea I should live by the dictates of Mormonism, and I not only used to be one, I live in the state they stole from Mexico so old men could marry all their nieces and granddaughters in peace.
Right.
So, as to conclude, as the once very much under threat of death, author and all-around smarty pants Salman Rushdie said, religions, like all other ideas, deserve criticism, satire, and yes, our fearless disrespect.
Well, we're doing our part.
You know what's funny about that is South Park, a bunch of years before that famous episode, they did an episode where there was a group of superheroes that were all the prophets of the various religions.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith, Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad was one of them. And nobody noticed. It just escaped
I wonder, was it before
scrutiny.
Was it before 2001?
No, it was. I don't think it was. I think it just didn't. No one picked up on it.
Huh.
So there's this depiction of him in one episode that no one blew anything up about. So until now, until this podcast goes to air.
Yeah, you just blew it wide open.
Yeah, so everybody get in on it. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
And, you're going to die anyway. Do it for a reason.
And the way you start is you trace your hand on the paper, and then
cover it in hair.
cover it with hair. And,
There's actually a famous movie called The Messenger, I think.
well, yeah,
That you know about this?
where it's all POV.
Yeah, the entire movie is Muhammad's point of view.
Is that so you never see him?
You never see him.
He doesn't ever look
you
in a
see
mirror?
his hands.
It's all these people talking to you. You
Yeah.
are he.
And it was a massively successful movie in the Islamic world. But
Can I ask about his palms? Are they
were
sufficiently
they're
fleshy?
incredibly fleshy. And the eyelashes just keep getting in front of the front of the frame. So everybody check that out. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you for that, and go draw somebody.
Let's move on. Uncle Doug,
Uncle Mark.
I find that the best medical treatments available are the least examined. Don't you think?
That is a tenet of modern medicine.
Like, who cares about these eggheads and PhDs and blah, blah, blah?
I mean, I
want results.
I think Hippocrates was the first who said, "Enough with the science already. Just fix him."
Just get to the bloodletting.
Yeah, so I wonder, Uncle Dan, if you know of some remedy for my humors.
Oh, I can cure what ails you.
Yeah?
That's for sure.
All right.
But I want to start with a personal anecdote,
Okay.
if I may. I was in rehearsal for a play, and one of the other actors was asking everyone if they knew a good massage therapist for an injury. And several people mentioned a friend of all of ours who is a fellow theater artist as well. Let's call him Omar, who, by most accounts, is actually quite excellent at that sort of thing. He's a massage therapist, and he does just really good for injury stuff.
Yeah.
That's all well and good. And then one of the people glowingly recommending Omar said this phrase: "He's a healer." Now
that is an Australian dog.
that's right.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Right. They're beautiful. They're wonderful. Very
And
smart.
Omar is, and he will come when called. It is
Right.
good. No,
he works well with sheep.
yes, indeed. Look, I have no reason to doubt that Omar is very good at what he does. I have 100% believe that he has made several of my close friends feel significantly improved in their various ailments. But that phrase, "he's a healer,"
Yeah.
just stuck in my craw.
Yeah.
Now, why is that?
Did it give you a huge knot in your back?
It did. It did. I needed to go to this other guy to
That's pretty
work it
ironic.
out. It feels like that. So why is that phrase such? Why is that such a gross phrase? He's a healer.
Because it's just all wound up in woo.
It's wound up in woo.
Yeah.
It means more than just he can make you feel better. It means there's something mystical or
Right.
spiritual. Or
he knows
something.
how to Tetris your chakras back into the right
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And also
form
because
of an anteater.
you would never apply that phrase to a doctor
Right.
who
Yeah.
actually does heal you.
A doctor is someone who works on your health.
Yeah.
But a healer
Yeah.
is someone who it's magic. A healer has magic.
Yeah.
And magic, gentlemen, and I don't spoiler alert, I should have saved this for the end, is bullshit. There is no magic.
Well, where did my grandpa get that quarter from then?
That was in your nose the whole time.
No, it was in my butt. I'm saying it was in my
Wow.
butt.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
I thought it was the grandpa on the
I
other
missed him
side.
when he went to jail.
Your revenue,
Anyway.
your revenue streamed right up.
Anyway. Oh, my God.
There goes my bus fare. I couldn't afford to take the bus to jail to see him.
Oh, that bus driver hated getting those quarters from you, though. Why is
It's
it
like that
brown?
Christmas movie where she cuts her hair and sells the watch fob, and just,
All the things.
everybody loses.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a healer.
Yeah.
In the worst sense of that word. We're going to Brazil to talk of John of God.
John of God.
John of God. This
Humble
is
moniker.
João de Deus
Yeah.
in his original Portuguese, which I assume I pronounced perfectly.
Perfectly.
He is a healer in the creepiest, cheesiest, wooiest sense of the word. Thousands of genuinely afflicted people from all over Brazil and the world,
The world, right?
flock to his little compound daily.
He's like in the middle of nowhere, right? He's kind of
The middle of fucking nowhere, Brazil, about 170 miles away from Brasilia, the capital.
right.
He's still going now.
And Brasilia is kind of in the middle of nowhere. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just like nothing. And he's got a huge the whole town, it's a company town. It is just his giant compound filled with people all dressed solely in white, which is the dress code,
Yeah.
and then like 8 cows and a field.
Even after Labor Day.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
Someone should tell him.
Yeah, and there is at least a veneer in the clothing and stuff of doctorness, right?
Well, with him, I mean, actually, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
sometimes he wears something that's vaguely like doctory,
A lab
but
coat kind of
but
thing.
often it's just, it's just white on white. It
Right.
doesn't matter what it is. It's just like, it'll just be a very casual button-down short sleeve shirt.
That's a hot country. You want a breathable fabric.
You need it. You
Right.
need it. A linen.
Because being a cult leader, it sounds like a lot of fun, but Lord, it's a lot of paperwork.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll get to it, but make sure that I don't skip describing him ministering to the people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I do want to talk a little bit first about what he grew up out of.
Okay.
Which is the sort of the religious landscape of Brazil, which is a little bit confusing. Obviously, you had the Brazilian natives, you had the South American natives who
Yeah.
were there, and then the Portuguese came in.
And everything was fine.
All of that worked out.
Everybody
great.
got along great.
Everybody, yes,
Yeah.
that part we don't even need to
Yeah.
talk about. Perfectly good. But the Portuguese brought with them Catholicism. So the main religion has always been Catholicism.
Yeah.
But they never had enough priests for the longest time. So their Catholicism got folksied up a lot.
Yeah.
And so
their
there's this,
Catholicism went to Carnival.
right.
Yeah.
And so their Catholicism has a huge emphasis on saints.
Thongs.
No, only that 1 week and a half. Saints are worshipped. Basically, they're more than they're deified in a way that
Right.
sort of it modifies the religion quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Catholicism's already basically polytheism.
Right. Yes.
But
indeed.
in Brazil, it is straight up
right.
polytheism.
And there's a lot of woo that comes with that. Add to that, there was a huge African contingent that
Right.
came in and
That were invited.
that were cordially requested.
They saw the brochures.
to join.
Wow, it looks beautiful there.
Yeah, they came. So there's this African Brazilian Umbanda and Candomblé faith. These two
Yeah.
different faiths that sort of permeate, that have that sort of African folk religion feel to them,
Uh-huh.
and Spiritism, not spiritualism like we have here in the United States, the classy version. Spiritism, which is the same thing, only it came to Brazil sort of via France, and it had this sort of weird like bing bong boom thing. But yes, the idea that people, the dead, talk to the living through mediums, that
Right.
sort of thing.
So basically, religion in Brazil is like everything else in Brazil. It's kind of their own thing.
It's their own thing.
Yeah.
It's a mishmash, and nobody from outside of there can make head or tail out of
Yeah.
it. Anyway, from these weird origins comes a young man who had 2 years of formal education
Right.
in his whole life.
Right.
Just 2 years.
Well,
That's
it's not quantity, it's quality, Dan.
and that wasn't there either.
Great.
Because he grew up in a tiny little village. So this guy, but don't worry. If you're worried about a man with almost no education to speak of performing medical acts, do not worry,
Sure.
because he channels the entities.
Right.
And the entities include people like famous Brazilian doctor Oswaldo Cruz,
Yeah.
Saint Ignatius, King Solomon, Saint Rita.
King Solomon's vast knowledge of the endocrine system.
Yeah, the only prescription we know from King Solomon wasn't a great one.
Yeah, well, every now and then if you got to split a baby, you split a baby.
Yeah. Oh, you've got typhoid. You'd be better in halves.
So what happens is these people, he doesn't now, his version is what's known as unconscious channeling. I think that's what it's called, which means that these people don't just talk through him, they take over.
So does he kind of a trance-like thing, or
Theoretically, although it looks like at this point he's kind of given up on the theatrics entirely.
Right.
It's sad these days, and I'll get to that.
It's like late stage Elvis.
Oh
He's
my
not
God.
even really trying anymore.
oh my God, so much like that.
well, a little like P.Z. Myers and Ramtha, right? Where she just gets drunk and yells at everybody in the audience.
Yeah. Now he performed. Now a lot of his stuff is done through meditation. He has people in meditation rooms that he calls current rooms, where the current of their meditation, the vibration builds up in a current, like an electrical current.
Right, because that's real.
Because that's all it makes sense.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
And that helps everybody. It magnifies all of the power that the entities have.
Well, they ran out of diesel for the generator, so they got to develop.
I feel like it should have sound effects. Apparently, some of the meditators do make like real spooky hissing sounds and stuff.
Well, got to put on some theatrics for the
put
audience.
on a show.
Something anyway. Then the other thing that that he'll often do is prescribe you a set of pills that he produces. They are all just passion flower extract, which, by the way, I looked up passion flower. It's a really cool looking flower. But everybody gets the same pills. You have to have a prescription from him, but everybody gets the same pills. But the idea is that when you get your pills, don't give them to anyone else, because the entities have imbued your bottle of pills
With exactly what you need.
For your ailment.
Right.
And if so if I gave you, Doug, my pills,
Right.
it wouldn't clear up that thing down there at all.
Right.
Because my thing is for,
Can I give it a shot? I really need help.
Yeah, you probably should.
So when you go to the pharmacy after he prescribes you, is it still the same process of like waiting half an hour while they fill your prescription?
Oh, everything there is waiting.
Yeah.
Everything there is waiting. But no, that one actually, because everyone gets the same pills, you just hand money over and they just give you a bottle from the one box of pills that they've got. And then also you can buy blessed water and various artifacts that have been blessed by the entities.
Right.
So
Daddy's got to eat.
These will all fix you.
Yeah.
But the big deal, the big tent attraction is John of God himself, and he has some amazing tricks. Whenever you see pictures of him, he's always got something up somebody's nose. And
I know. I've seen the film of this, and it is ghastly.
This is how he convinces, like his stuff. So, imagine, if you will, a scissor-looking thing. It's a set of forceps.
I want to leave.
It's about 7 inches long.
Oh my God.
and he starts squirreling around. He takes a little bit of gauze on the end of it, and he starts squirreling around, and then in somebody's nose. And then suddenly, up to the handle, all the way up into that person's nose.
Yeah.
Now, it's an alarming thing to see.
Yes.
I will admit. However, it is not surgery. You'll be shocked to learn. It is not. This is what he calls surgery, by the way.
Okay.
And the gauze often comes out bloody.
Oh,
Which,
fuck.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
You cram a pincer
your
of gauze
sinuses.
7 inches into anyone's body, you're going to get blood.
Well, as you know, the inside of your nasal cavity is the membranes are quite thin, so
Yeah.
you can easily scrape it and get some blood. Here's the thing: what he's doing is an old sideshow trick.
Right.
If you've ever been to a circus
Because
sideshow,
you actually
or whatever,
do have a very deep sinus cavity.
right? There is a hole that goes way back in there if you find it, and you're not going to hurt the brain because the brain's actually like surrounded by bone.
Unless you keep it going.
No, well, you'd need a drill because there's bone.
Right.
But it's
Or a running start.
it had been done in India for a long time as a trick, and now you'll see somebody with a big old 4-inch long nail that they'll pretend to hammer into their face or whatever. Like
I just make a recommendation to our listeners: do not Google image this.
yeah, and don't do it. Don't try it at home.
Also
that would be a stupid thing to do, but it's relatively safe. And it's one of his big convincing tricks.
Right.
Other tricks include scraping the eyeball with a blade.
Oh, my God.
Without anesthetic, and cutting, sort of superficially cutting skin with a scalpel without anesthetic. Now, they always claim that people don't feel a thing or whatever, but I actually saw a video of him cutting a guy with a scalpel, and the guy is doing his damnedest not to feel a thing.
To be brave.
But is squirming like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's very clearly feeling it.
Right.
Anyway,
I remember I saw some footage of this years ago, and I remember him taking some instrument and going to the base of a woman's neck on her back and making an incision by her spine.
Yep.
And then just jamming this thing down into that incision into her back, and no anesthetic. No, it wasn't. He just picked up this thing, this rod or whatever, out of someone was carrying a bucket next to him. He just pulled out of a bucket of water and just jammed it down into her neck, and I nearly fainted seeing that on television.
He does crazy things. It's basically all parlor tricks, and these people will need real medical attention later. Type
Of course.
stuff. Although, if you ask them, that has never happened.
Sure.
There has never been a person who's needed alternate medicine or real medicine after his thing. Anyway, he does all of these things. That's the rarer thing. Let me explain to you the most common experience of someone who's going to him for help. First, you show up at his compound, having traveled hundreds, possibly thousands of miles to see him.
Yeah.
You wait in line for hours to see him. And I saw a video of him, and these are people who have real maladies.
Yeah.
And
they're here because either whatever system they should have been in for healthcare failed, or they can't afford it,
They're desperate.
or there isn't a system.
Right. So I mean, a lot of the people who come from outside of Brazil come because they went to their doctors. Their doctors said, "Your cancer, I'm sorry, it's inoperable," and sent them home to die. So yes, they're desperate. They'll try anything.
Right.
They're willing to go to go to some magic dude and just see what happens, because what have they got to lose other than their family's inheritance? So they show up there. They are desperate to see this guy. Now, he's been doing this since the 70s, and you cannot imagine a more bored-looking human on the earth. He's
so done with it.
Slouched in his chair, dead-eyed to the world, and each of the people are coming up wanting to touch him because they believe he is going to cure their lymphoma or whatever.
Yeah.
And they reach out their hands with this expectant look on their face, and he just sort of touches their hand, and then they shuffle off, and then he touches the next guy's hand, and then they shuffle off. Or, conversely, at other times he'll scribble something on a piece of paper and hand it to them, and he'll scribble something, and that turns out to be their prescription for the bullshit pills.
Right.
That's why he has to write a prescription. He can't just write a number.
He doesn't even
all the
write. He
same
doesn't
pill.
write anything. He just scribbles. He just writes a little scribble that's
Do they
illegible.
tell him what their malady is, or is he supposed to just intuit it?
Apparently, I think they do.
Yeah.
He's clearly not listening.
Right.
And then, then you're scurried off into another room where you do your meditating for hours. Don't cross your arms or legs.
With an insane nosebleed.
Right. Well, no. You haven't had that yet.
Oh, okay.
All you've done is just waited in line for hours to touch the man's hand.
Yeah.
And then you're shuffled out. Then maybe later, then you get your pills, then you get your water, whatever, and then maybe later you'll be asked if you want surgery, and you'll say yes because you need to have your thing fixed. The vast majority of the surgery that happens is what is called invisible surgery. And this is when you go into a room and you sit quietly in that room with hundreds of other people, and the entities surgery you as you sit there without your knowing about it.
That is the best kind of surgery as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, absolutely.
I've been in this waiting room for hours. When do I go into surgery? You're all done.
It just happened.
Yeah.
And you're fixed.
I love it.
And voila, you are fixed.
Yeah.
So great, go home. And they actually tell you to be careful and to sleep it off and to like also you're just act as though there are sutures that could be popped if you can't run or whatever.
Oh my God.
So anyway, there's that. And then people stay at the compound for days and they meditate and they keep coming back and they keep meeting, they'll stand in line again to meet this guy. This guy's whole job at this point is to sit down on this wooden throne while people touch him and then go and perform 5 or 6 of these stunts a day. Because he doesn't do it to everybody. He does the stunts he does just as a sort of demonstration, like you've been picked
So you
out.
may have come from Sweden.
Yeah.
And you go to the middle of the jungle and you wait for hours for this, days for this guy. And the vast majority of people don't get the sinus swabbing.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Which is good. I approve of them
Yes.
not being abused in
The
that
fewer
way.
people that happens to, the better. But still, if you paid for a ticket,
Yeah. Anyway, so God, and he's got this weird God thing. He's claims he's still Catholic. The Catholic Church has disavowed him. His quote is, "I do not cure anybody." And if we stopped there, I think he'd be in a good spot.
right?
But he goes on to say, God heals, and in his infinite goodness permits the entities to heal and console my brothers. I am merely an instrument in God's divine hands.
Exactly what Benny Hinn says.
Exactly what everybody
Yeah.
says.
I'm just a messenger.
Yes.
I'm the
exactly.
vessel through which God works.
I'll take your money, but I'm not really doing the work.
Right. How did he become famous? Well, he became famous in his own place, but the rest of the world found out about him through, any guesses?
Oprah.
Oprah fucking Winfrey.
I was joking.
No, for real.
Oh,
That's absolutely how it happened.
Yeah.
Well, he probably became famous before that, but
he's
she
famous in Brazil for sure, I imagine.
and around the way that Oprah even found out about him was one of her writers wrote about him in the O magazine. And then that was featured on her show in 2010. And then again in 2013, this time she went herself to Brazil, Oprah herself, and interviewed him. So,
and like she does with all of these quacks, she probably just believed him 100%.
yeah, she's a credulous simpleton. So
I know, for an insanely intelligent person,
yeah,
she is so credulous. It
Yeah.
is baffling.
it is. Anyway, fun little side note, in 2015, John of God himself was diagnosed with aggressive stomach cancer.
Ah.
Guess how he treated it? Any guesses?
A long proboscis into his nasal passage.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That, and he
except
went to Sloan Kettering Cancer Center.
he absolutely went to conventional medicine, had his tumor extracted, and did 5 months of chemotherapy.
Yeah.
So, yes, apparently the entities don't work for him. They work through him, not for him.
Just like Mother Teresa letting people die of bone cancer untreated, unanesthetized in her warehouses.
That's right.
And then going to the finest clinics in the world, first class for her heart.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're all shocked to learn all of these
Yeah,
things.
can you believe it?
Yeah. And another shocking thing, which you guys definitely will find very, very difficult to believe. You will not be able to handle this information.
Lay it on me, baby.
In December of last year, he was arrested.
Oh, no.
Not for like fraudulent, not for defrauding millions, literally millions of people,
And harming people.
and doing who knows countless amounts of amount of harm.
Yeah.
But no, because a group of 10 Brazilian women accused him of sexual abuse. Now, this was...
Whoa. We're talking about cult leaders here. This is not a thing.
You would think that
This
that
is
would be
not
impossible.
a thing that happens, yes.
There had been rumblings of other accusations before, but this
The
took
reason
off...
I say it doesn't happen is because they're grown people.
Right.
They're adults.
Right, you'd
Right.
think. Well, let me get there. So finally, a Brazilian journalist actually looked into it, brought forth 10 very credible women. The guy was arrested. Then that journalist set up an email address specifically for this to say, if anybody else experienced this,
Oh, my God.
you can email me. As of the last reading of the Religion News Service report on it, more than 600 women
Oh my God.
had accused him, varying in ages from 8 to 67,
8?
Oh my God.
including his own daughter,
Oh, my God.
who accused him of raping and assaulting her
Oh, my God.
for years until she ran away at age 14.
Jesus.
So
Has Oprah been back?
he ticks. Oprah summarily removed that in those bits from her website.
Yeah.
they don't.
Sometimes you can do research before you decide to sell a person as a commodity, right? You can
that takes effort.
yeah.
God.
And you know what? That's an effort that a lot of American journalists weren't willing to do. There was coverage on other, like, journalistic shows that literally gave him a pass. It was funny. There was an ABC News report in 2005 that actually had on. So they went and covered him. They had Dr. Oz and James Randi on. Now, James Randi has thoroughly debunked this guy. He's the debunker.
Yeah.
His screen time was cut down to about 20 seconds.
What?
And they didn't.
And it was Dr. Oz.
And Dr.
And
Oz.
Dr. Oz probably said one secret to losing weight is
Right.
dying
Is
because
passion
this guy
flower
treated you.
pills.
Dr. Oz said, buy my passion flower pills.
Right, yeah, exactly. This was before Dr. Oz was a big deal, but like it's still crazy. Yeah. So like, and they also like they promoted all of Dr. Oz's accomplishments and achievements before they introduced him. Said basically nothing about James Randi except that he had written a book.
Oh my
So it
God.
was like it was a very big. It was funny how
It
they
was
gave
very
him a
slanted-
pass.
Yeah.
It was ABC News. They gave him a total pass. It was primetime live.
Yeah.
And they just gave him a pass. Then Oprah Winfrey. But in 2014, 60 Minutes Australia did a really scathing sort of thing because he was coming into Australia. There was a planned tour.
Is it
And
still called 60 Minutes or is it called Crikey?
It's called 60 Minutes. That was
60 Wadangalangas.
Anywho, so yeah, now he'll hopefully be healing people in jail.
Yeah, so yeah, is he still at large or is
No, he is in custody now, awaiting trial.
Excellent.
I think. And,
Good.
to sit in Brazil? I guess raping 600 women is one too many. Apparently,
Yeah. I mean, you get there eventually.
yeah. It's funny you mentioned 60 Minutes Australia, and when I've done some of these quacks, some of these faith healers, etc., there's always a 60 Minutes Australia piece because I think they have a whole different sensitivity to religion than in America, where you can never fucking criticize it or say anything about it.
Right.
Where in Australia, it's like, yeah, Benny Hinn's a fucking quack.
Yeah. So there you go, John of God. He's good for what ails you. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. So
May he rot.
I'm feeling better already.
Yes, indeed.
It worked. Let's move on. Oh, fellas,
You know, I got thanks in my heart.
you have gratitude.
I got it's an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah.
Just like Jesus done
Brothers
taught
and
me.
sisters, as we sit here among the coinage.
That's right. We do have some folks to thank. We I don't know if you guys know this. We throw the show out into the world for free.
Yeah.
What?
We just give it away.
We toss this turd into the punch bowl every week.
Is that why my paychecks keep bouncing?
Is it? Oh, you've been cashing those?
Yeah.
Just framing them.
It wasn't a clue to you that they were printed on rubber?
The reason we give you the giant foam core check is so you can't put it in the little vacuum tube cylinder.
See, that's what I've been cutting it up into strips.
That's the problem right there. So
But some folks believe that it is of enough value that they could maybe throw a little bit of coin our way.
That's right.
And,
Josh.
and they're the best ones that we have. So
Yes.
today we have a couple of people to thank. Thanks so much. Go to Robert and Russell, who are this week's heroes. If you would like to help us out, maybe make it sound a little better by having more than 2 names for us to say in the patron section.
Yes.
You can do so by going to the howtoheretic.com without the. Don't say the.
No.
Just howtoheretic.com.
yes.
And then you click on the Patreon button, takes you there, you sign up. You choose the level at which you want to show your appreciation.
You should know the upper end is literally infinite.
Correct.
Yes.
There is no upper end. You can go. There is a lower end. So really, you should be exploring in those higher ends.
Try for the upper end. See if you can find
Something
it.
north of 0.
and if you do that, we will show our gratitude.
The Earth's going to be
you.
dead in 12 years. You don't need the money. We do.
The rapture will happen. You're going to be taken
There's
up.
going to be a rupture eventually.
Don't let that coin end up in your pants on the floor.
That's right.
Give it to us.
Yes, indeed.
And if you can or can't contribute at the maximum infinite level, please go to anywhere you can give us 5-star reviews. We've had some very nice reviews in the past week because I think our begging is starting to drive y'all crazy. So please go ahead and do that. It really helps us out, and more people hear this, and we can all blaspheme together in a pot of boiling shit in hell.
In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Moving on. Uncle Dan,
Yeah.
no more games.
No. All of the games.
All of the games?
I reject your idea and replace it with my own.
How about just one more game?
I'm game.
Here's the thing. We need a game show theme song. is
We
what
do.
need.
We do.
Yeah, Cody, we need a game show theme song.
It has to be original, Cody. You have to write a new one on the spot.
Yes.
Right.
So it's time for everyone's favorite game.
Yes.
Square That Circle,
Square
That circle!
which I think we've played one time previously.
Yeah.
But here we go.
And it was nobody's favorite. So let's.
No, it bombed pretty bad.
I'm just
So,
kidding.
Let's dust it off and bring it back.
Yeah.
iTunes actually removed that episode. They just expunged it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've delved into the well-batted belfry that is religious apologetics. The last time we spent some time in the fertile ground that is Mormon apologetics.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the field is white.
That's right.
They're
when it
really
comes to
good.
Mormon apologetics.
That's right, because Mormonism is dumb. However, it is far from the only stop on the bonkers line of the stupid train.
Yes.
Today, I thought we could wander the wasteland that is evangelical Christian apologetics. Ooh. Now,
I
Christianity...
think that can be boiled down to bitches be cray.
That's right.
Right?
Christianity has the added advantage that its founding documents were written thousands of years ago in what very charitably could be described as the Dark Ages. Some fully functioning adult humans in the 21st century have dedicated substantial energies to trying to justify the fever dreams of first-century Bedouins. So,
Sure.
let's take a random stroll through different evangelical Christian apologetics.
They weren't Bedouins, but it doesn't matter. I get the point.
Note, we're not
People
talking...
with tents.
That's right.
Yeah.
We don't need pedantics. This is a game. Have
Right.
fun.
Back off.
There's no right answers in a game.
That's right.
No, we're not talking about Catholic apologetics, because while they certainly do exist, Catholics have hit upon the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card when confronted with inconsistencies. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
So-
which is the right answer.
That is
Like,
the right answer.
That is the only correct answer.
That's correct.
Every time he's tried to try to get science or justify things in a way that makes any sense, you're already on the wrong path.
That is correct. As always, I will set up the problematic issue or passage and read 3 apologetics.
All right.
One is the real one. Notice I didn't say true. The other 2 were made up by yours truly.
I feel like I'm going to do well. I have been to a Christian natural science museum, so I feel like I
need these 20 Bitcoin.
That's right. I'm sorry. Ultimately, the only prize will be that all of us will be dumber than we are right now. So
that doesn't seem possible.
let's begin. And again,
I've had a good run.
these are pretty at random. So we'll start with a story out of the book of Mark, and this is the story of Jesus healing the Bethsaida man. We're reading here from Mark 8:22 through 25 in the Names of God version of the Bible.
Oh, my God.
Side note, I don't think this version's going to work out for me. There you go.
The Names of God version?
Yeah.
What's that?
You go to some of those obscure ones, and it gets a little wackadoo.
All right.
That's right. So, reading from the text, verse 22, as they came to Bethsaida, some people brought a blind man to Yeshua. They begged Yeshua to touch him. Yeshua took the blind man's hand and led him out of the village. He spit into the man's eyes and placed his hands on him. Yeshua asked him, "Can you see anything?" The man looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees walking around." Then Yeshua placed his hands on the man's eyes a second time, and the man saw clearly. His sight was normal again. He could see everything clearly, even at a distance.
What stage of blindness does people look like trees?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
So you might think that the square that needs to be circled is how did Jesus heal this man with his own spit? But you would be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's obvious.
That's an obvious one, right.
Yeah.
According to creation.com, the really important question that needs to be answered is, why did Jesus use a two-step healing process in this case, where everywhere else in the Bible, he simply heals the blind in a single step?
Yeah, that's driving me crazy.
Right?
It's bonkers.
Yes, the all-important two-step process. So, uncles, why, according to creation.com, a prominent Christian apologetics website, did Jesus use a two-step healing process? Was it A, even Jesus had to go through a learning curve. Merging his temporal body with his eternal omnipotence had never been done before in the history of the universe. As a young baby must learn to drink mother's milk before he can gnaw upon his father's meat, and by that I mean what his father brought back from the hunt, not gobbling on his father's wangly bits. This is the Bible. There's no room for incest.
Fucking Christ, where's it even going?
So Jesus was stretching his metaphysical wings and decided to take it a bit easy rather than overdoing it and microwaving the poor man's brains. So that's A.
Okay.
B, Jesus was actually laying down a smackdown time bomb for all you libtards and village atheists. Jesus was actually curing two maladies, not just one. He first cured the man's sight, but since the man had been blind his whole life, his brain could not make sense of the visual richness that was bearing down on his cerebral cortex like Eric Trump on a recently tranquilized black rhino. So Jesus first repaired the man's eyes, paused to make sure this was put on the record, then he cured his agnosia, the brain's inability to process that which it has never seen.
I see.
Just like when Columbus showed up in America, the Native Americans could not even see the ships.
Yeah.
Or was it C, Jesus overdid it the first time and projected the blind man into an alternate universe where trees had evolved into a dominant alpha predator and then had to retool and bring him back to our
You
reality.
send him into the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, shit, I cured you too good.
So it's A, he was taking it a little bit easy. B, it was a two-step process, curing two different maladies. Or C, he sent him into an alternate reality.
I'm going with B.
I like B, but just to be fun, I'm going to go with A just because whatever.
That's right, it's B.
Oh.
Jesus performed the miracle in such a way that for hundreds of years it would seem weird until modern science finally
out.
caught up to the narrative.
Oh, see, modern science once again proves the Bible true.
That's right. So quoting from the website, in healing the Bethsaida man in these two stages, he has given a built-in stamp of authority to the authenticity of the account, one that is discernible only to modern-day readers. There is no way that an apocryphal or fabricated tale could have had these details.
It's impossible.
No possible.
No
way.
possible way.
Now, but I have a question.
Yeah.
If Christians eat Jesus' body and drink his blood, why don't they just keep a little spit on hand
Right?
for
For your various eye ailments.
Yeah, look, I'm at the point in life where I need to wear readers. So if I could someone would just
Come here. I'll spit in your eye.
You get the left one, I'll get the right one.
Okay.
If 1/3 of a three-headed god would spit in my eyes a little bit, I'm down.
So, yeah. That's,
Patreon goal.
There you go. Okay, next one.
Now we know. All right. Let's dive into one of the more weighty and contentious subjects of today's culture wars, abortion.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Specifically, if all babies go to heaven when they die, why is abortion wrong?
Right.
Okay, good question.
Yeah.
It's a very valid question.
Let's leave it as a given that all babies indeed go to heaven when they die.
Yeah.
And that at some indeterminate moment, they cross the threshold from innocent shit factories to evil shit factories. For me, the threshold is whenever a baby makes the decision to get on a flight that I'm on.
Right.
Yes.
So, this is a difficult and deep issue that has real-world consequences. Abortion clinics have been bombed. Abortion doctors have been assassinated. Families and nations have been torn apart by this issue.
Right.
So it should comfort you to know that this subject has been given fully 4 paragraphs at the Christian Apologetics and Research Ministry, or CARM. It's a true thing.
Carm.
So, if all babies go to heaven when they die, why is abortion bad? Is it A, God is the taker of life, not man? Shut up, don't think about it, and stop asking about capital punishment. Is it B, God has established a perfect ratio of souls in and souls out, and aborting babies gums up the work and requires the stopping of the production line to clean out the equipment.
Right. It's like Lucy at the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it C, God really enjoys sending people to hell? It's the reason we're all here in the first place. Aborting babies robs God of this pleasure, like an endangered rhino dying from being over-tranquilized before Eric Trump can shoot it from his vehicle. What's the answer?
Oh, I want it to be C.
I want it to be C, but I think it's A.
A is correct.
Yes.
This is particularly true, especially given that between 30 to 50% of all fertilized embryos do not make it to term. And please stop asking about capital punishment.
Right.
Yeah. Wait, what was A?
A was that God is the taker of life, not man.
That's just plain ridiculous.
That's it. You will find in apologetics the amount of content dedicated to a subject is in direct proportion to its uselessness.
What's great, what's delightful about the abortion question is that they don't have any scripture to help them.
Right,
because
exactly.
It's not mentioned except in some scripture where there's specific instructions given to commit an abortion.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it could have been C because there is plenty of Christian gravity behind God enjoys sending people to hell, so you don't get in the way of that.
That's true.
Right.
Don't cock block.
Now, that might be true for us. It's certainly not true for the Christian
Harm.
Apologetics and Research Ministry.
Right.
Lastly, what about this whole resurrection nonsense? Well, the whole of Christianity hinges on the resurrection.
Right.
In fact, no less important scholars as Josh McDowell, C.S. Lewis, and Lee Strobel attribute their conversion from atheism to Christianity to the literal and undeniable truth of the resurrection of Jesus.
Yeah, it's undeniable.
How could you deny it?
Right.
So, what undeniable argument is put forth on probe.com, a leading Christian apologetic site?
Probe?
Probe.
Okay.
Probe.com. For this,
Wow, you got excited, Mark.
No, they're just, it's
You
amazing.
heard about a probe and you really perked up.
It's
there.
amazing what dinglings they are. They
Yes.
have no ability to be like, okay, you guys, the acronym for your Christian foundation is FART.
Right, exactly.
Right? Did you think about why? What thing,
Anal.
guys?
It's the American National
Throb.org.
Apologetics.
Throb.org is not taken. Okay. What undeniable argument is put forth on probe.com for the literal truth of Jesus' resurrection? Is it A, there had never before in history been any story about someone coming back from the dead? The fact that all 4 gospel writers hit upon this rhetorical trope that no other authors had heretofore discovered is irrefutable proof that Jesus rose from the dead.
Okay.
Is it B?
It's probably A.
Is it B? In the gospel narrative, all of the apostles were only semi-dedicated to the cause, with some, like Peter, for example, unwilling to even admit that he knew Jesus before his resurrection. However, after they had seen their risen Lord, they became so dedicated to the cause that nearly all ended up being martyred willingly. What could possibly explain this change in character if not Jesus coming back from the dead? Okay. Or is it C? Faced with the loss of their nascent cause, a group of itinerant Palestinian fishermen decided to make up a story that would enable them to continue to make a living off of an incredibly credulous population, rather than returning to pulling nearly valueless loads of smelt out from a shit lake.
How dare you,
The
sir?
fact that this falsehood would not only lead to their historically dubious martyrdom, but would become one of the largest religions in the history of the world, while countless other falsehoods ended up in the dustbin of history, is something they could not possibly have foreseen. So they proceeded in their falsehood, like Eric Trump believing that one more severed rhino tail will finally catch that most elusive of prey, a father's love. So, is it A, the first time in history there had been a resurrection story, B, the change in character of the gospel of the apostles, or C, the truth?
I'm going to go with B because I've heard the phrase, who would die for a lie?
I want it to be A because they're so stupid
Yeah.
that they don't have like a children's level Egyptian mythology coloring book.
Right.
But it's probably B.
It is indeed B.
Yeah.
The great thing about in even Christian apologetics, the only evidence for the resurrection of Jesus comes from the Bible itself.
Right.
This is not at all different from believing that Voldemort is real because he is mentioned in all 6 Harry Potter books.
Well,
I assume
and
there's 6.
they are, Voldemort is more real because the Harry Potter books are more consistent about their description of him.
That's true.
Than the Bible is.
Right. There are consistent story arcs and character arcs.
Right.
So let me just finish the game with this quote from creation.com. Quote, "We must remember that the Bible has demonstrated itself to be reliable and accurate countless times. It may very well be that some inscription is waiting to be uncovered which will, like many inscriptions in the past, validate yet another biblical event. In the meantime, we can trust the Bible to be the accurate document of historical record that it is."
Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Is that Strobel's website?
I don't know which one Strobel's is. He was mentioned in the resurrection
They're all
thing.
Strobel's website.
Yeah, for real.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
all very incestuous. But
Well, there you go. Can't go wrong. There's nothing. It's an infallible book by infallible people.
and I think one thing we can all agree on is Eric Trump is an evil motherfucker.
And I won.
You did.
Yay!
Oh, okay. Well done. You.
Yes, Uncle Mark won something in his life. Let's move on.
Okay.
Well, friends, that is it for this week's show.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email at howto@howtoheretic.com.
Or if you're one of our very eager beaver jihadists looking for Dan's home address, give us a call at 903-88-HOW-TO, which is 903-884-6986. I'm also on Twitter at HowToHeretic.
I live at Mark's house. Anyway, thanks so much to our patrons. You're the wind beneath our wings.
And thank you, Cody, for this month's contribution to the Draw Muhammad contest and for editing the show.
And thank all of y'all for tuning in.
Bye, friends.